are 5 basic watercolors for every palette. Let's take a look at some of those colors. For the workshops that I use a lot of Blick's artist watercolors. They're consistent colors and quality, and they're relatively inexpensive. We've got the actual colors we use are Indian yellow, cobalt blue, a alizarin crimson for a red, it's right here, raw sienna, and what's called Payne's gray, which is actually it's a very dark color. It's sitting right here. It's actually a very dark green. All the prices on these things vary from anywhere from $13 for the cobalt blue down to $8.50 for most of these. But they're good values on them. They're 14 milliliters per tube, so they're a lot of juicy watercolor in there. They'll last for months and months and months. So the way that we lay them out on a palette is just, you're on your own on that. You can put them anywhere you want to. I generally run from the yellows to the blues and reds, and then the darker colors down below on my palette. But those are a way to get started on why would you use tubes versus blocks of color. And these are travel kits, which you'll find that have a lot of different colors in them, and they'll all be in little blocks. And these blocks have a lot of clay in them, so they're not as juicy. They don't flow as well as when we put color out in a tube and a palette. So they're a lot easier to work with, and you can put as much as you want out, and that'll last for weeks. Now the fun thing about when you're working with watercolor at home, you don't have to worry about what happens when they dry out. All we do is give it a squirt of water and we're right back in business again. They're very easy to live with. There's no odor. You can put them in a drawer. You can use them on the kitchen table. It's quick cleanup for brushes, and for all your tools are just an easy wipe away with just water. If the paint dries on your brush, it won't wreck it. It'll work just fine. All you have to do is just get it wet and you're right back in business. So it's an easy way to introduce paint into your home without worrying about spills and drips and what's going to happen when we get things where they don't belong. Transparent watercolors versus opaque watercolor is another thing that people ask about all the time. These colors that we're using today are all transparent watercolors. This box is full of watercolors which are opaque, and the name for them, they're called gouache, G-O-U-A-C-H-E, that you'll see those out. These are opaque watercolor. And why would we use these? We'd use them when we want to paint on top of a painting that is already virtually completed. It needs a little more color or punch somewhere, and these colors will do that. They'll lay on top of your transparent watercolor. So if you want to increase the value in your paintings and bring more color up in certain areas, the opaque watercolors are a nice tool to use. Although they don't blend as easily, they do have more clay in the binder in the opaques. Those are some of the things to take a look at. But these 5 colors, Indian yellow, cobalt blue, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, and Payne's gray, is a great way to get started. You can mix your yellow and blue, get a great green. You can put your yellow with the red and get a great orange, obviously. If you mix the yellow with the Payne's gray, you're going to get a wonderful soft gray. So you can mix and have fun with all of these 5 colors and develop lots of great paintings right off the bat. So there you are, some 5 great colors to get started with in watercolor. Thanks.